Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good.
All set?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What about other panelists? Shall we start?
I'm good to go. If you allow me to, we can start right away.
Sir, I have a request. Can I start from
Sure,
away?
ma'am. Sure, sure. Yeah. Please, please, आप करिए.
All right. All right, Habib. Could we start your interview? I want a very good afternoon. I would like you to introduce yourself first.
Ma'am, my name is Yudhabhay. I'm from Shimla. I'm 32 years old. I've done my schooling from Shimla only. I've done my plus one plus two in commerce stream from St. Edward's. Post that, I've done my graduation in business administration from University College of Business Studies.
All
After
right.
that, I did my MBA in marketing domain from Birla Institute of Management. After that, I worked as a deputy manager in an NBFC firm for 2.5 years. After that, I decided to go for government jobs and I started preparing in 2017. Initially, I got through light services. Presently, I'm posted at Directorate of Corporation and as an inspector audit.
Okay, so you're working right now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Abhi, since you belong to Shimla district of Himachal state, can you identify three different challenges of Shimla city? What are the issues of this city?
Ma'am, presently, Shimla being a very renowned tourist destination, we are presently facing a trafficking problem in parking facilities.
Oh,
That's first. Second is over a period of time now, there is a high in the drug menace scenario also. The third is water problem, which is partially resolved, but still it's a prominent problem in Shimla district.
okay. So, don't you think since Shimla is under smart city mission also, so don't you think this under this project of smart city will resolve these issues? What have been done so far?
Ma'am, presently the work has been has started in so many areas, like the road widening has already taken place. The parking facility in different municipal corporation wards has also been planned in smart city mission.
Okay.
Parallelly, there is a walking area being designed. So those things are being already being done, but there being a hilly area, there is a limitation based on you can do with the landscape. Smart city can infuse funds, but that cannot change the landscape. So that's working on that. But right now, Shimla is trying to shift the population to another. There is a another place designed for twin city called at Jatia Devi in Shimla, where the
Oh,
new planned city will be set. So trafficking problem maybe that can be sorted out. With respect to water, now they have established few more pumping station at Chaba and there is another place. I cannot recall now. So they are trying to build a continuous drain from Satluj River. So that is also uh, under work. With respect to drug menace, I mean, it's also a big problem, but we are working on it. Presently, it hasn't come down, but smart city is basically more of a development related. So drug menacing is something for which we need to look at it separately.
so you said smart city is more of development oriented. Smart city is not a safe city. Smart city is not about safety and taking care of
Uh,
all these development somewhere will be negatively affected because of this drug issue.
Uh, Ma'am, I think a smart city is not merely about a development. It's also about development in such a way, like in a sustainable way. But there are obviously limit saturation point beyond which the development has its impacts. But yes, smart city can have its positive impact with respect to drug menace also because we'll have a smart policing as well. There would be smart police checkpoints. So somewhere down the line, it will also curb the drug menace. But I think uh, the whole scenario needs to be looked upon outside the smart city perspective, also with respect to drug menace.
Does Shimla come under Amrut scheme also?
Yes,
So do you think that integration of Amrut and Smart will resolve these issues? What is your take on that?
ma'am, I think yes to an extent because what has happened over a period of time since 2015, the infusion of funds to local bodies has really enhanced a lot, and that has really strengthened the whole infrastructure within the government and from the citizen points of view also in the whole district as well. So I think both the projects are working in a positive way, but I think that what is lacking right now, there is a change in the government. So recently now the smart city funds have been stopped, paused from the central government. So in a way now there is a pause from past 3 4 months. So if that bottleneck is resolved, I think we are moving on a positive direction.
So funds have been paused because of the change in the government, or funds have been paused because of the non-utilization of the previous funds?
Ma'am, I'll have to check it out, but based upon my knowledge, there were some projects which were sanctioned. Now, there are projects for which assessment was made earlier, but now the actual cost is now over exceeding the pre-budgeted surveyed cost, like so many flyovers and all those things. So for that, another excess grant has to be applied. So that hasn't been received till now.
Okay. So what ropeway projects are being they are being undergone in Shimla district?
Ma'am, we had a ropeway project in Jakku already. Now there is a ropeway project being in proposal in Hattu Peak and I cannot recall it right now.
All right. So these ropeway projects are independent projects, or they are being signed under some central project or some scheme, union government scheme?
And ropeway projects are basically under PPP mode, where the government is actually working with the private agency and it's in a public-private partnership projects.
All right. Shimla district happened to have a developmental plan 2041, which was rejected by NGT.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you aware of this plan?
Yes, ma'am.
What were
Uh,
the reasons for rejection?
Ma'am, basically, Shimla as a area is ecologically it is very sound. So there is a basically so much of greenery. So development will obviously have an impact on the green belt. So now in the Shimla, there were restriction by NGT in 2010 with respect to core area and the green area. So
Okay.
they had put that the limit of 2.5 floors for all the buildings, and they had rejected all the construction in the core and the green area. But in the previous government, in the month of October and November, they drafted a policy where the construction excess will also be applied for a limited period of time. But now that when those new changes were gone through NGT has stopped those. It has said like based upon other disaster point of view as well. Shimla comes in the fourth category 4 zone and 2.5 flooring is the sanction. So I think that has been blocked by NGT now. The development plan was with respect to more facilities to citizen in their existing structures in the core and green area.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Manmi sir, this is all from my side. Other panelists can take it forward.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, Abhay, do you read newspaper?
Yes, sir.
Is it your field of interest, current affairs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, our Prime Minister is out of country these days.
Yes.
So, where is he to be?
Sir, presently he has just landed in Papua New Guinea. It's a
Mm-hmm.
island country in Pacific. He
Mm-hmm.
just landed in the morning. He was in Japan.
Okay. So, there's something special about PNG pertaining to its geography. Can you recall it?
So PNGs basically comes in the Indo-Pacific region. So the region is
Mhm.
basically China is trying to strengthen its military power, naval power in these areas. India being a member of Quad,
No,
presence of
let's stay focused on the geography part only. PNG is peculiarly located on an island which is half PNG and half occupied by some other country, the island itself.
um, PNG. I think Australia.
Indonesia. It is partly it is occupied by Indonesia. Okay. Uh, there is something related to a Ukrainian city of Bakhmut as well. Are you aware of that city, Bakhmut?
Vakmusar, as far as I recall, lately there was more missile attacks in the city by the Russians.
Okay. So Russians have taken a claim that they have control over the city. Are you aware of it?
Yes, the Russians have said that they have almost taken over the city, but based on the news, there are different things coming out.
Mm-hmm.
From the Ukrainian side, it's like they still have a hold, but Russians claim that they have taken the full control.
Okay. What is the importance of this city? Why is this city so much in news?
So I think it's easy proximity to Kiev, which is the main hold of Ukraine, is one of the reasons.
Okay. Not exactly, but anyhow, there are roads which connect to Kiev. So, which province it is located in? There are two problem areas which Russia wants to actually set free, and this Bakhmut is located in one of these provinces. If you can recall that province,
Uh, so right now I cannot recall this.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Recently, 2000 RBI has given a guideline pertaining to discontinuation of the 2000 note from circulation. So, what
Yes,
are
sir.
your viewpoints on it, Abhay?
Sir, I think RBI has taken a decision based on the facts and the reports. If we look at the 2000 notes, they started after the demonetization of 2016 8 November. So basically,
Correct.
RBI keeps on doing their own surveys in 2018, 31st March. The 181 crore circulation of 2000 notes basically valued 6.24 lakh crores. Now, again, when they did the same survey of these notes only, the circulation came down to 3.24 lakh crores. So that means the difference itself was not in the circulation. So that means that would have been used in the black money because they were not in the system. So now they have realized that this high denomination currencies again going into for use of a
No,
black.
no. The reason is that because RBI stopped circulating these notes in 2018-19, so gradually there's a lifespan associated with the note. So these notes were, being destroyed or being destroyed naturally, I should say. So it is not that they are in black money. If RBI has issued a particular liability vis-a-vis the notes, so it can never be in the black money.
But pardon me, sir, but I think RBI, there was a report on this only in the
Mm-hmm.
newspaper. The
Mm-hmm.
total value of the currency has come down from
Has
6.
fallen down. Correct, has fallen down because RBI has stopped printing these notes and they are, you can say, dying a natural death. So that is the reason. If RBI has issued particular currency, right, and it is in circulation, it cannot be black money. It is in circulation. It is in circulation. Now, where it is being used, that is a different perspective altogether. Anyhow. So, what could be the possible reason behind this discontinuation of notes?
So I think one of the reason is like obviously to avoid the easy chances of utilization for a black money. But if you look at 500 notes are already be used in a high level and the 100 notes, so
Mm-hmm.
I 200 notes. So I think one that's a kind of a preventive measure also.
Okay. So don't you think there will be another chaos like which happened in 2016 when
Sir,
it
I
comes
think
to replacement?
this time government has been little more planned in this because the window
Mm-hmm.
is a bit long. Plus, there is nothing as such because it's going to remain a legal tender, and you can go and
Mm-hmm.
put the same money in your bank account. You can exchange the notes also. You don't need to fill any kind of a form or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think already the 500 notes are out in the market, so I don't think so. People will have so much of a problem.
Right. Right. Okay. There was something related to credit card spending abroad. Some rules related to change of taxation or something related to the spending from credit card abroad. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. There is there is a enhancement of taxation till 7 lakh. I think
Mm-hmm.
15% tax on
Mm-hmm.
outside. That's what I can recall. This is recently in the news by Ministry of Finance.
Right. So can you tell me any two implications which it can have on our financial system?
Uh, Sir, I think outside transaction. I think it would be. I mean, obviously, it's going to height up the cost of the outside purchasing which we do. And second, I think obviously it will
So how will that
raise
affect our
revenue.
economic system?
It will raise there is a revenue for the government in one way.
Okay, that's okay. If the tax is higher, so it will raise the tax is higher, it will raise the revenue for the government. That is well said. What about the other? You said that it is going to increase the amount of not the amount of spending, but the quantum of spending abroad, right? That is what you said.
No, sir, I'm saying the cost of purchase abroad would be higher
Cost
now.
of purchase. Okay, cost of
Yes.
purchase. So how will that benefit us
Sir, I think,
as an economy?
sir, as a government is going to help us in terms of revenue, but I think as a citizen, what it was going to do,
No,
it's
I'm talking from government's perspective. I'm talking from our economy's perspective.
so economy's perspective, which would like there would be divergence with respect to supply of the goods. People will switch towards domestic manufacturer.
But that happens if had the import duties been increased.
Sir, yeah, this can also be with respect to the e-commerce, especially because from e-commerce also we do, being in India, we do purchasing from outside also.
Okay. Okay. Abhay, you said that you have done market MBA in marketing.
Yes, sir.
So what was your favorite subject in marketing?
Sir, business innovation and growth was my favorite subject.
Okay. Can you tell us about a little bit about that? What exactly is that subject about?
So basically, this subject tells you about how you can create a product which is has a competitive advantage for a long term. For example, for any kind of a technical product, it will tell you what is the best solution or a permanent solution which can be registered, which can be patented. Similarly, if at the grassroots level, it can
Hmm.
supposedly you come up with a dhaba. It can
Hmm.
tell you in a market what could be the best done to attract the customer. So basically, it tells you how innovation itself can drive the whole revenue and how innovation can give you a competitive advantage, can be a core competency.
Okay.
Supposedly in a market of coaching institutes only. So they are a
So let's just stick to dhaba. I got your point. Let's
yes,
just stick to the dhaba. There is a Potter's five forces model of industry
yes.
which is being taught in the marketing course. So can you tell me the implications of that model vis-a-vis the dhaba? If you are opening up a dhaba, so how will you apply this five forces model on the dhaba?
Okay, so Porter 5 forces model is basically for a competition analysis. So it has different points like bargaining power of the buyer, bargaining
Hmm.
power of the suppliers, the threat of new entrant, availability
Hmm.
of substitutes, and the existing competition. So Porter
Hmm.
5 forces model basically does like when you do analysis of all these five factors.
So if
Suppose
you are to open a dhaba in Shimla, so
yes, sir.
what are your what will be your five? I mean, how will you apply your model on this particular business?
So in this particular business, we can start with first of all with respect to the existing competition, the
Hmm.
analysis of that. If
Hmm.
supposedly there are all the eateries with respect to the Chinese food,
Hmm.
so that shows the bargaining power of the supplier, which the shopkeepers are is less because the customers have a lot of options. So
Let us
we
do
can
it
do
practically. Let us do it practically vis-a-vis the Mall Road. You are to open a dhaba on
yes,
Mall Road, Shimla, near lift,
yes, sir.
right? So apply five forces model and tell me would it be a good business opportunity or not?
Sir,
With arguments, of course.
sir, at Mall Road, dhaba could be a good opportunity, but it has to be still in a in relevance with the existing competition. The Mall
That is
Road,
what
it's
I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That you have the practical,
yes, sir,
data with you.
yes, sir, yes. So that's
So
what I'm
let us
trying
let
to
us do it. Let us apply it.
well, dhaba has to be more in a kind of an organized restaurant where the customer already has a good purchasing power also, which where we talk about bargaining power of the consumer and the supplier. So here the customers will talk about only about the quality of product. The price will not be a factor. So here the cuisines and itself has to be different from all the others. The availability of competition is already there. So your product has to be different. Similarly, availability of substitutes is also there. Like there are very so many places where you don't have to sit, you have to standing and go. So there also has to be a scenario in your dhaba where you can serve them by standing only. There
Hmm.
should be also be a possibility where hotels can order from your dhaba in their rooms also. There are so many hotels in the easy vicinity of Shimla. Similarly, uh, There is also a threat of new entrant. That's another aspect in Potter's five forces model. So in
Hmm.
this also, you can ensure that the customers be given something with respect to the loyalty of your products.
Hmm.
Uh, they could be given a customer loyalty cards or something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. What is your current job, Abhay?
So presently, I'm inspector audit in Department of Corporation.
Inspector audit. Okay.
Audit.
So how would you take this experience? Suppose that you're selected as an NT. How would you take this experience to this new job?
Sir, I think I've worked in a this department for past 3 years, so I've understood the whole channel, how the government machinery works. I'm able to understand like how the file moves. I can understand the customer problems, how the customer have problem in the government or administration. What is the time response which has been given, and in what areas in bottlenecks we can improvise. I can give you an example like in my department also in only like the website was not that much upgraded, so
Hmm.
I'm part of that team which is now in the area of improving the website of Department of Corporation.
Hmm.
So I've given suggestion, now I'm part of it. So maybe in revenue also I can tell how some manual processes which can be channelized into an MIS and with respect to online mode and websites.
Okay. Okay. Over to you, ma'am.
So, Yudhabhay, what's the meaning of your name?
Ma'am, Yudh Abhay is basically one who does not fear in a war. It's
Hmm. So, how much your personality manifests your name, if you get my question?
uh, and directly it may not resonate completely, but yes, I have a never giving up attitude. I have perseverance with respect to my own struggle and goals in my life. So I don't fear any kind of a failure in life. Like in example, in competitive examination, I'm continuously appearing for my administrative services. Sometimes I don't get through the main, sometimes I don't get through the prelims. So I don't give up, and I don't fear like okay, what's going to happen in future. So I'm
So,
my
what
goal.
made you think of an MBA in marketing? And I'm very impressed with, the conversation you have just had with my fellow, panelist regarding your understanding of implying innovative business models and, techniques. So, what made you think of doing an MBA?
No, actually, the thing started in 10th standard only. Actually, I don't wanted to go for sciences because I was not interested. So based on my option of rejections only, I decided to go for commerce. I really liked the subject in plus one, plus two. And then I decided to do BBA. When I did my BBA, so there were already courses with respect to business management. So at that time, I decided to do MBA.
Okay. You said, and after doing your MBA and the kind of understanding you have, I see you as a very successful businessman. That what made you think of competitive exams?
Ma'am, actually, there are two reasons. One is like, obviously, I have zeal for business and I'm doing my endeavors in my own way at home, in my orchards, and in my other hobbies. But doing a government job is basically when I was working in a private sector. So I realized you are not directly solving the problems of the societies. So I think government job gives you an avenue where you actually look at the problems of citizen and you are part of that process. You may not be someone in the top, but you are somewhere in the process where you are actually hearing those grievances. So
Okay.
that was one thing, but MBA cannot never be segregated so much from the society that is totally something where you are doing for profits or something. MBA itself is also something where you do something for the society only. You create value. Here in the MBA, you learn to work go in the corporate sector where you create value for your customers. In government, the same thing changes in a different way. You create value for citizens. So I think it's the same thing in a different way.
Okay. So, do you think entrepreneurs don't add any value to the society?
No, ma'am, I don't think so. Entrepreneurs also add value to the society. That's what I'm saying. Uh, there's just a change in the name of the stakeholder. There was a customer, here is a citizen. So for me, it's the
Oh,
same.
you mean entrepreneur is only serving the customers?
No, no, entrepreneur is serving the customers also, plus other stakeholders also, creditors, shareholders. his own self, his own employees. Similarly, a department is also serving different stakeholders, not just citizens. It's also serving the business community also. It's serving the social sector also. It's serving the political lobby also, everything.
Okay. So basically, you mean to say, if I were to ask you what made you join government sector is what's your purpose or what's your reason?
My whole reason is because I realized government job directly puts me into that zone where I directly work for the people.
For people, you're already working for the people,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Then why this whole need for
Ma'am,
trying for
right
another job?
right now I'm in an age where this syllabus is something where you initially you aim for the best in the work profile. So presently I'm in an age where I'm actually aiming for different exams, because right now I think I have the energy, I have the time to aim for best in this hierarchy and everything. So that's the reason I'm trying to aim for this. Nothing as such. I don't value my current job. I give my best. I'm enjoying it. But it's just that right now I'm in an age, I'm in a time and space where I think I can aspire for higher level also, where you get more power, where you get more authority, and where you find it easier to implement your ideas into the system.
Okay, so what I hear you say is that you are in the job for serving people, but at the same time you're looking for power and status as well.
Uh, partially, but more because it gives you more uh, power to implement your ideas into the system, not just a power in terms of
Okay,
enjoying.
so given an opportunity, given your age, if there is another job available to you in the government sector which gives you more power, I mean, the aspiration still would be to go in for that. Is that right?
No, I'm not necessarily. If once I join here and if I realize, okay, this job gives me a platform where I can uh, implement the things way I want, and I'm enjoying whether my responsibilities and accountabilities and power. So I would not aim for higher thing. There is nothing as I'm not. I'm just aiming for to move up in the ladder.
So you want us to give you some room for experimentation to check whether Mr. Kanwar Yudhabhay Singh likes this opportunity or not. If he likes it, he's going to stick to it. If he doesn't like it, then of course he has other avenues open.
No, I'm not necessarily. Just that in a government sector, there are two areas, one or two categories. One is a gazetted job and a non-gazetted job. Right now, I'm in a non-gazetted job. In a gazetted job, you obviously it serves your prestige, it serves your status, it serves your self-esteem in all the ways. So that is the reason. And one more reason is non-gazetted job. The channel for promotions are also very slow. So it gives you a satisfying career growth if you are moving into a gazetted job.
Okay, all right. So it is more for satisfaction and maybe security.
Ma'am, satisfaction only because security is already there. Yes.
Okay. So Abhay, also see in your notable achievements that you have authored two books on Himachal history.
Yes, ma'am, they are basically from competitive examination point of view
Tell
only.
me more about them.
Ma'am, one is Himalayan Veda. It's a question bank. Second is a Trigat. It's basically history of Himachal Pradesh, princely states, and all the Thakurais. So it's basically the pre-independence period.
Okay. And what were the sources that you researched for writing these two
Ma'am,
pieces?
the sources were basically the gadgets which I availed from the with our museum in Shimla Museum. The rest were basically the available resources like Mia Govardhan's books was also there. Jagmohan Blokhra's books was also there. There was this book of Rahul Sanknitin or Kinnar Desh. There were this books of Y.S. Parmar also. Himachal Pradesh Shape and State. So there were a couple of books which I gone through.
So there were already so many books available, Kamar.
And
You
actually,
think?
all the available books in the market are actually been written before 2000, because history is something which does not get. Uh,
Correct.
so I thought there is a huge virgin market to write a book in a easier, more English language and in a more structured way. this book has been written in a chronological order from ancient to modern, which is an easier way to connect the things. The rest of the books have a little bit difficult English language also. So I've tried to incorporate only the relevant things. Otherwise, all the mythological stories and all those things have been excluded just from a to the point scenario of history, so that it's an easy grasping for the aspirants.
What response have you got, or your book has? How has it been received by the aspirants?
Maybe it's been received pretty good based upon the available time I had for marketing. Like on Amazon, it has shown good response. In Shimla, it has good response. But being in a job, I'm not able to uh, channelize it into different district through suppliers. So after this exam, I'm looking forward to this further distribution in other areas.
And again, Yudhabhay, what was the main goal for you writing this book? You already were in a job, you were already preparing for the exams.
And this was something which I would say, like I say, like being an MBA, you always look for creating something, and I was free, so I thought I can utilize this time. And anyways, I'm not able to clear the exam this time, but I have so many notes. So how can I utilize them for something, some another way? That was just the zeal at that time. Plus, COVID was also there, so I wanted to utilize COVID time also.
Okay. I also heard you say that you're a part of the team who is upgrading the website for Cooperator,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And also you have written that you would be applying innovative and problem-solving approach in the revenue department. So,
Yes.
given where you are, what is on your mind that you can do creatively or innovatively in the revenue department?
Ma'am, I think right now I cannot give a pinpoint solution, but I think I'm very good in understanding the whole process mapping. I would say how the things move. Supposedly, how a customer apply for a particular service and how the customer receives the time gap, the time bound manner, how the files moves. So I think I can track down the whole process, and I can like in my department, I'm able to. Make few things digital. So if given a chance, I can recommend such suggestions. Supposedly, in terms of application for Jama Bandi, it's already been looking forward for an online him Bhumi app is an application is already there. So these things are initiatives are already going in revenue department. So I think it's an area of my interest also. Maybe if I understand the whole scenario, I think I can also add value to the existing work in progress going in revenue department.
Yudhabhay, what if I tell you that I find you too radical for the job that you are applying for? You are far too innovative and far too independent minded because you are a part of a hierarchy here. So I feel that I have a doubt or a question regarding your capacity to take the orders, apply the orders, because I feel you have a very independent mind of your own.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, also, I'm in class three, so I'm posted a director. So sometimes it does happen where my boss is telling something and I'm telling him, okay, this also can be done in this way, and sometimes it doesn't get agree. So I don't give more suggestion. But I think it's not that about you don't not taking the command. It's like you in any field you go, there are always people above you. So you have to adapt as per the scenario. So I don't think so. But yes, initially because I had already worked at a good level in private sector, initially I did face a little bit of problem. So then that is also one of the reason like I wanted to go up in the ladder in government sector.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, Yudhavir, how are you feeling? How did your interview go?
Uh, I'm not able to see right now.
Sorry?
But I mean, 50-50, I would say some of the actually, uh, I've been in office, so I'm not able to thoroughly go through all the international affairs current. So some of the questions were earlier asked, I was not able to recall.
Okay.
But I think it's
Still, I
average.
think you have a good grasp of what's going on around you. I'll ask Manmeet sir to join back. I think he got disconnected. So, as far as I have observed you, your knowledge of Himachal, I mean, definitely is very good and it is excellent. And throughout, you were looking into the camera. So, I'm impressed that despite it being an online interview, Not for a moment did I see any casual movement or anything. I mean, it shows that you're serious about what you are doing, right? Regarding international affairs, I'll ask Manmeet sir to give you little feedback on that. However, Yudhabhay, what if I tell you that uh, there was a trap and I caught you in that trap? How do you feel about the last bit of the interview?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Yes.
I wasn't
So,
expecting.
isn't it? What I saw was you did not deter when it came to the stress part of the interview. However, when I said things which I know resonate a lot with your personality, the innovation part of it and the problem solving part of it, uh, you were far too, I mean, I would say that you were vulnerable and you really showed the real side of you to me, right? That I was in a private job. I wanted to go ahead, but I want to move ahead in the ladder. You understand? So far, your purpose was serving. Okay. But when I got you there, where I know you're very passionate about, you were very vulnerable and you could not kind of manipulate your way through.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to switch off the recording now because there are things that I'm going to talk to you off record. So give me a moment, please.